The returns industry is a very costly industry and also a very wasteful industry. A lot of items that you return are most likely going straight to the landfill. They're not being resold. So we want to make sure that those items still find a home.
I'm here with Sonia Yang, the founder of Treet, which is a retail clothing technology company.
Yes, we are.
In 30 seconds, tell me about yourself and what you do.
Well, I'm Sonia. I'm the CTO and co-founder at Treet. And what we do at Treet is we create branded resale experiences. And what that might look like is a peer-to-peer experience, a trade-in experience, a recycling program, or all in one. And we're helping brands be more sustainable, drive revenue through resale, and extend their customer LTV.
I love this. Give me a specific example of through the life cycle of using Treet.
Yeah, so let's say a consumer is shopping on a website and they will, as they're shopping through the product pages, you'll see a little widget on their product page that says estimated resale value. That's say $100, even though the item itself is $200. So immediately you'll be like, okay, I can buy this for $200 and I can sell this later on for $100. I'm essentially buying this for $100.
So I'm shopping for a blazer, let's
yes.
say. Mm-hmm. And it's a widget. Do I download it as a Chrome extension?
No, so our brands will download this widget on their sites.
Oh, okay.
So it'll just show up. You know how you see Klarna and Affirm
yes.
on product pages?
Yep.
We do the same thing. So this is actually a newer feature that we just launched. So once the consumer knows kind of top of mind resale is part of this brand's journey, okay. They're more likely to convert, buy the item. Once they've used it for however long, they're ready to resell, then they will come to the brand's Treet marketplace and sell it to other peers who also love that brand.
Okay. What kind of brands are you partnering with so far? Give me some examples.
Yeah, we partner with a lot of top D2C brands on Shopify. So Girlfriend Collective, Doen, Represent from the UK, Cuts, a little bit of men's and women's wear. Also just tapped into bridal wear, so Gali La Have, and so forth.
So you're a retail company that your clients are actually other retail companies?
Correct, yes, they're brands.
Okay. And now I see when I'm buying something, I get my resale value. What if I'm looking to buy secondhand? Where does that come in? Do I deal with you? Do I deal with the other brands? How does that other side all work?
Yeah, so the brands launch their own resale marketplace. That's their Treet marketplace. That's where their customers will go straight to buy and sell. Okay. So it's usually a microsite. It's a separate site from their main site. That's kind of becomes the community for that brand. Yeah.
Do you run that?
Yes, we run end-to-end. We run all of support. We run the launch process. We're in charge of all the automated marketing that comes with it, okay. Making sure that the marketplace is vibrant and kind of self-sufficient.
Are you in charge of the logistics? Are you shipping the clothes back and forth? Is that up to the other company?
Yeah, so we are purely a software company. We never hold any inventory whatsoever. Whenever logistics is involved, we will partner with other 3PLs or people who specialize in that. Okay. So that's usually for our non-peer-to-peer program where it's usually managed. So the items need to go to someone, get authenticated or reworked before being sold again.
How do you make money?
So we make money in 3 ways. We have a monthly SaaS fee that we charge all of our brands. Okay. We also get a cut of every single transaction that happens on these Treet marketplaces. And we also charge a setup fee.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
What were you doing before you co-founded Treet?
I was a software engineer at Airbnb.
Okay, cool.
So yeah, my background is in software.
What kind of stuff were you making at Airbnb?
I was on the growth and search team. So really helping Airbnb's double-sided marketplace also grow and learned a lot about how marketplaces worked there. And on the search team, just worked with some of the most talented engineers to make Airbnb search the best and helping guests find exactly the place they're looking for.
Are you a computer science major?
I am.
How did you get into tech?
Yeah.
How did you get interested in tech, I should say?
Yeah. So I was very privileged to have taken my first CS class in high school.
You mentioned you're from Silicon Valley. So
I'm from Silicon Valley, so I was surrounded by tech, I would say, my whole life. And I think it was a very cool experience being able to experience everything first. So Uber, we saw Uber first, we saw the self-driving cars first, and I think that kind of inspired something in me and being at the forefront of technological advances. But yeah, I took my first CS class in high school, very privileged to have done that. actually, I'm going to correct myself. I actually took a CS class in middle school.
Okay, that's very impressive.
But it was for this language called Logo, where you
Yes.
use computer science.
Lego logo, right?
Yeah, you like draw things with it.
Okay, yeah.
Anyways, it was very cool. But in high school, when I took that class, I immediately knew that that was going to be what I was going to be doing for the rest of my life. My mom always joked that she was very worried that I would never find anything that I would enjoy because I could never sit still. Like I could never keep my attention on anything. But when I discovered computer science, I spent like an entire summer just on my butt coding a bunch of computer programs and mobile apps. And she was like, okay, I'm glad that she found something that she enjoys.
Awesome. You're sitting still and focusing.
Yeah.
So it sounds like you had a pretty exciting job at Airbnb. What led to the creation of Treet? And kind of what was the motivation saying, like, I'm going to leave this, like, it sounds like a dream job if you're a computer science person.
Yeah.
What made you make the jump?
Yeah, so all of this started, I would say, around the pandemic. Treet is a pandemic baby.
Okay.
I absolutely loved my time at Airbnb, but I think during the pandemic, work from home and just so much time on my hands, went through like a very introspective period of my life and like really tried to figure out what I cared about, what I was passionate about, and what kind of impact I wanted to make in my life. So at the time, I decided to not start a startup, but join a startup. Okay. So I was in my hunt to find a smaller startup that aligned with my passion. So it was sustainability, health, fitness. And one of the things I did was I actually called up one of my friends, and she was like the only person I knew in the VC space at the time. And I was like, hey, what are the hot startups I should be looking at in these spaces? And she, being the lovely person she is, gave me a whole list, compiled it, gave it to me. And she was just casually was like, hey, my boyfriend, he's also very into sustainability and also very into startups. Do you want to talk to him? So I was like, sure, more information could not hurt. So I called him, and that was actually my now co-founder, Jake. Wow. Okay. And during that call, I think we just instantly clicked. We had very similar passions for sustainability, for the environment, for what we wanted to see in the world. And I also just very clicked with him as a person. I always say that in that call, I was like, you could be the CEO of a 1,000-person company and I would believe you. You had like the executive leadership, the presence. He was very articulate, very competent. And maybe the most important, he was like a very genuinely good person. And from that call onwards, Treet was born. And wow. Yeah.
So he wasn't already working on this. You guys started just kind of coming up with ideas that wanted to have the intersection of technology and sustainability?
Exactly, yeah. So I think we were very passionate about sustainability, and I think both of us recognized the amount of waste in especially the fashion industry. So I think that was kind of where our passions aligned. And when we thought deeper on that, we realized we both cared a lot about resale as well. I just moved into a new place, and I basically furnished my entire place with just Facebook Marketplace items. So I was getting very into resale at the time. So everything just kind of lined up. Yeah.
Has the idea for Treet, the plan, has it pivoted, morphed, switched from your original idea? And tell me how it has.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it pivoted. I would say it's grown to something bigger than it was. In the beginning, we were very focused on peer-to-peer, so like getting an item from one peer directly to another peer. We've expanded all of our models to like trade-in, to recycling, and now we're very deep into figuring out off-price and returns.
What does that mean, off-price?
Yeah, so like all brands have a lot of inventory that they could not sell on their main sites. So it's either previous season inventory, returned items, or items with small quirks on it, like just maybe small defects.
Stuff that might be in an outlet kind of thing?
Exactly. Okay. Things that might be at a Nordstrom rack or something. Yeah. So we're finding ways to make sure that inventory sees the light of day, finds a new home. Our mission is to make sure every item lives its longest life. So whether that's pre-owned or the brand has on hand, we're just making sure we can find another home for them.
How big are you guys right now? How many employees?
We are at 25.
Cool. And as you're the CTO.
And the CTO, yes.
So what is your day in the life? What are your duties? What is your mission?
Oh man, that is, I definitely wear many hats, I would say. There's part of my day that's being a co-founder, so looking at very high-level metrics and making sure things are going the right way. Then there's also the engineer side of me. Sometimes I'm in project stand-ups and overseeing projects, making sure that everything's going smoothly there. I spend a portion of my day just going deep in product metrics and seeing what's areas of improvements or things that we're doing very well in. There's also hiring, of course. My day-to-days honestly look very different. Goes from high-level things to all the nitty-gritty stuff.
So it's interesting that you're B2B, you're approaching these big brands. Give me the pitch. Pretend you're going to come in, I'm a big retailer.
Yeah.
And you are trying to pitch Treet to me. What's your
Yeah.
pitch? What's your spiel?
Yeah. That's so funny because I am the CTO and I leave the pitches usually to the sales side. So
Yeah, but you're good at it. You sound like you know what you're talking.
That's very nice.
There's passion coming through.
Yeah. So I think a lot of our pitches are, you're a big brand. You must know how many millions of dollars of inventory is being moved on resale marketplaces like Poshmark and Depop. You can either let those inventory continue being resold and give all of that revenue to these platforms, or you can own it and be a part of it. These transactions are going to happen whether you like it or not. So why not lean into it? Own those customers and also just be a part of a more sustainable future.
Sold. Done. Sign up.
Hell yeah.
How much money have you raised?
We've raised a little over 16 million.
Okay. What's any tips and tricks about fundraising?
Some tips and tricks. I think this is funny because fundraising is also more so in my co-founder's wheelhouse. Yeah. I think when you walk into a room, or not walk into because it's on Zoom, but when you
zoom into a room?
Yeah, we zoom into a room and we are kind of in the position where we feel like we're asking for money. We're not in a position of power. Mm-hmm. I think those are the times that we've struggled the most because I think that kind of energy really exudes and people can feel that. But when we, do a pep talk before being like, we are in the driver's seat. These people should feel like special to be a part of our journey. Yeah. I think in those times, I think it really, people in the room can feel it, and we've seen a lot more success.
Flip it. You're like, they'll be lucky if we take their money.
Exactly. Yeah.
So you have 16 million in funding. You guys, 25 employees. What are you focusing on right now? Like for the next year, what is everyone at Treet focused on? What's the goal? What's the aim?
I think focus is always just growth. So, we're not going to stop until every single fashion brand in the world has a circularity program, whether it's resale or recycling, whatever it might be. I think one big area of focus for us right now is what I mentioned earlier in the off-price and return space. So we want to turn all unsellable as new inventory that is returned. We want to make sure that those items are resold on Treet. Okay. So the returns industry is a very costly industry and also a very wasteful industry. A lot of items that you return are most likely going straight to the landfill. They're not being resold. So for all of those items that, just might be missing a packaging or missing a tag, we want to make sure that those items still find a home.
Cool. So you're in growth mode. You want to get as many clients as you can on board.
Absolutely, yeah.
You're in the intersection of fashion, retail, and technology.
Fashion, yep.
What trends, what predictions do you have for the next year in the retail world?
Yeah, long-term vision-wise, as I mentioned earlier, I truly believe that in the next 10 years, all fashion brands will have a circularity program. So I think it will be the norm for consumers to go to a brand's website and think, oh, what is their circularity initiative? Like, can I resell my clothes with them after I use it for a whole year? And I think when you shop in person, I think there should also be there will be a resale or a pre-owned section. And we're seeing it in all of the top retailers, even like Amazon is investing in this, Shein. So we have no doubt that everyone will follow suit.
Terrific. Sonia Yang, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you so much.